Welcome to another episode of The Traveling Golfer. This is the start of a show from Kingsmill Resort in Williamsburg, Virginia. And these rocks right here were the start of America. In 1607, English settlers first set foot on the continent of North America right here and established a colony at Jamestown, the start of the great American history. And it also became a bit of golf history many years later when Kingsmill Resort started to host PGA Tour events and now LPGA Tour events. We're going to take you through the 3 golf courses here at Kingsmill and through Williamsburg a little bit for a history tour. All of this on the latest episode of The Traveling Golfer. Stick with us.
One moment changes everything. Distance, precision, decided in a microsecond. So reduce your ball spin and get the most performance at impact with 4 yards more. A next-gen golf tee proven by pros and players like you. The unique durable design flexes at contact, reducing ball spin, giving you tighter control and more distance. So change your game and get 4 yards more. Brought to you by Greenkeepers. Golf smart.
Are you tired of misreading putts? You read it to break left, and it breaks right. With a Strakaline green reading book, you will know how your ball will roll on the green. Here is how you read it with the Strakaline arrows. Strakaline is used by touring pros, and now you can get the same book for your course. Save 50% today by using this promo code. Included with your purchase, you will get an instructional green reading video for free. So buy a book now so you can make more putts in your next round.
We're overlooking the 18th green at the Woods course with Director of Golf Operations, James Page.
Hello.
James, it is so great to be back at Kingsmill after many, many years. And I'll tell you right now, once again, it's an eye-popping experience. 3 golf courses that you're going to remember for a long time. Of course, the famous river course, Pete Dye.
Pete Dye's tournament course, and then you see Pete Dye's name on the scorecard, you know you're in for a real treat. As soon as you tee off on the first hole, it's a great Pete Dye start. Very short par 4 right off the bat. You can make a birdie. Par 3 is our second hole. Par 5, third hole. Challenging golf shots.
The challenge of Pete Dye's river course, the sharp edges on the fairways and around the greens. Miss a fairway by a foot, you could be 50 feet off. Coming to the green, my approach shot came right in toward the flag, hit here, went dead right, and instead of putting, now I'm chipping.
Pete Dye actually toned down the golf course about 15 years ago. Went through, softened some of the bunkers, some of the slopes, so a little bit less diabolical than it used to be.
I remember those sharp slopes, and believe me, if you miss just a little bit, well, then you miss by a lot.
A big, yes, a big miss.
There she goes. People come in and they want a championship experience, at least on one of the courses. They'll go relax a little bit more. So getting that diabolical experience is something they look forward to, I think.
Absolutely. You know, there's only so many Pete Dye tournament golf courses out there. So it is a pretty unique experience and something you don't get to do very often.
And unlike some of the other great resorts that are tucked away a little bit, just about all Americans know at least some of the holes so well from seeing them on television, the iconic holes.
Yes, the experience really starts on 15T. It's a reachable par 5, real tough tee shot over a ravine with a couple bunkers guarding you. The ravine runs all the way back in front of the green, and if you hit a good one, you have a chance to hit it about 220, 230 to it. So a great way to kind of energize your finish to the round, risk-reward golf hole. And then it comes to 16, a real tough par 4, maybe the toughest second shot to the golf course as the green kind of bends to the right, guarded by deep bunkers. Getting a 4 there is pretty impressive. And you're staring at our 17th tee right at you, one of the most iconic holes in golf. And you're teeing off to a tightly guarded green that sits on top of the river. A little bunker to catch your ball just in case, but you got to hit a real good golf shot there to finish your round. Then you turn around and you see our 18th tee with the river cutting right across the fairway. You got to decide how aggressive you want to be. You can really barrel out to the right or cut off a big hole if you decide to carry a lot of the river, which leaves you a reasonable shot to a great hole that bends back around the river. It's just a great stretch of golf holes, 15, 16, 17, 18.
That really is a memorable stretch of golf holes. But maybe there's another hole on the golf course that they don't see as much that might be a favorite of yours, that could be a favorite of theirs too.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. My favorite hole on the golf course is actually hole number 4. And that's where the golf course really starts. You tee off from the top of a ravine. You see the water flowing in front of you. Real tight fairway, one of the longest par 4s on the golf course. And that's kind of where you're like, okay, I need to step up and hit some good golf shots, because it sets the tone for the rest of your day.
Yeah, that's right. Time to either step up on number 4 or reload. Now it's time for our Strakaline putt of the day from the famous 17th green on the river course. Oh yeah! Strakaline helps you even when the James River is pulling the putt to the right. I'm in the laboratory with the doctor himself. Chris George, Director of Instruction at the Kingsmill Golf Academy. And this is where you help so many of the people who visit here, and you've got a great facility for it.
We have the indoor studio here, which we do putting, full swing, diagnostics on your golf swing. We can use TrackMan and multiple other tools to give you a good insight of where your strengths and weaknesses are. And we also use those tools outside. So the beauty of the inside studio is that once the ball hits the net, you don't get to respond to it. It's just going to stop there. So we can put a lot more attention to your game and your focus on drills and patterns to help you create consistency. And then when we get outside, we blend those together in different skill stations that really give you an arena to improve your game and shoot a lower score. Now those skills focus around contact, performance, reducing the amount of curve on your game, and we meet you where you are at your game and what your goals are and how much time you have to put into your game to get to your goals.
And obviously with a studio, on the hottest of hot days, you can work in here. A rainy day, come in and see Chris George. You can get instruction and get better, make good use out of your golf trip.
Well, no doubt, not only in the studio, but we also have a hitting bay outside, so it can be raining, you'll be dry, hitting from undercover, still working on your game and improving and maximizing your practice time. Guess what? While everybody else is dodging the raindrops, you're getting that much better.
Tech Talk, for many years telling the inside story of equipment development. Tour Edge founder, President Dave Glod. After all of this information you send out, you've got to get a lot of information back from our viewers. What are you hearing, Dave?
Yeah, we took a lot of that feedback from demo days from players, and really they were saying your shaft is one brand and you only have 2 lofts, you don't have a left-handed. We took it to the 9s. 3 shaft weights, one's as low as 39 grams, 50 grams and 60 grams, and all different flexes amongst those. So our fitting capability is quintupled compared to last year. And that's what we really got out of the public this past year.
You viewers talk, Tour Edge listens. That's the feedback between golfer and industry that the traveling golfer tries to promote.
Imagine a golf ball with the grip of a tire. Well, that's what you get with Bridgestone's new E12 Contact. Because the new Contact Force Dimple uses contact science technology similar to Bridgestone's high-performance tires, engineered to create 38% more contact at impact. For more distance and control, drive Bridgestone's new E12 Contact. Straight distance, driven by science.
Perfect complement at Kingsmill Resort, the Plantation Course, Arnold Palmer. This is a little bit earlier, different Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, this is early Palmer for sure. This is one of his first ones where he focused on some smaller driving areas. It's a shorter golf course. Our championship tee is only 6,300 yards. And there's some tight dog legs, some small greens. It's a real shot maker's golf course. You don't need driver or 3-wood to get all the way around. It's more about position and being able to attack the pin locations from specific areas because the greens are so small.
You've got the brawny, enormous Pete Dye course, the river course, and then a shot maker's course. And that is what I meant by a compliment, because if you're at the resort and you're going to play the courses multiple times, that back and forth is what makes it exciting.
It's a great contrasting style, and it's fun because you can make some birdies and have a little bit more fun out there. So some of the most memorable holes around that golf course. 2 is a risk-reward par 5. Tee off over a little ravine, doesn't really come into play. And then the second shot winds up a hill, and you actually see some of the old landmarks to the community up on the right side of the fairway. So it's a great way to start your day. And then you get to 8, which is probably my favorite hole on the golf course and one of the most memorable holes at Kingsmill. It's a short double dogleg par 5. So you can be real aggressive and try to take your drive over the corner of the trees. If you don't do so well, you're in for a big number because you land in the woods or hit it out of bounds. Safe play is to go out to the left, and then you can choose to be aggressive again. Cut the second corner of the dogleg off. Again, big numbers come into play on every single one of your swings on that hole. So it's a great way to kind of finish the front 9. And then as you turn around and go through the back 9, 12, 13, 14 real strong holes, and you get to hole 17, and just like the river, it's an iconic par 3 that goes over a ravine. You got to hit a real strong iron shot to finish your day there.
The Woods course is the newest of the 3 courses at Kingsmill, celebrating its 25th anniversary in 2020, and it was sort of a collaboration. Tom Clark, who did so many designs in the Mid-Atlantic region, and a guy who's pretty well known around the Williamsburg area, Curtis Strange, 2-time U.S. Open champ.
Yeah, Curtis's early years, he actually wore a Kingsmill logo cap around the tour representing Kingsmill, and got great ties to the facility and to the area.
And what are the characteristics of the Woods course that might be a little bit different from Palmer and Pete Dye?
Why I enjoy the Woods so much, and so many of our members here. The Woods is so cool because there's long drives or short drives, 3-woods, hybrids, long par 3s, short par 3s, tight dog legs, wide open holes, a couple drivable par 4s, a couple reachable par 5s, and some holes that will really eat your lunch out there as well. They test every club in your bag. It doesn't favor one type of player. There's a couple great places around the golf course and memorable holes out here as well. The second hole is a very unique par 4, tight drive between a bunker, and if you're a long hitter, a lake comes into play down the left to a green that wraps around the lake. Test your driver, test your iron shot and your putter there right off the bat. It's a great way to get started. And then 9 to finish out the front 9 is a 3-shot par 5 that's usually blowing right into this breeze. And it takes 3 good shots just to get there. In the layout of the golf course, the back 9, number 11, you actually drive about 10 minutes in a golf cart through a nature preserve. And then 11 is maybe the toughest tee shot on the golf course as you get up through the ravine to a tight fairway, to long par 4. You got to hit 2 good golf shots there to get a 4 on that cart and start your back 9 off strong. You really see a lot of nature. The back 9, an adventure through the golf course with some hills and some ravines and lakes. It's a pretty cool experience to go around the golf course.
A couple pretty visual holes out there too.
It's not a bad day to spend outside here for sure, because it is gorgeous.
The Woods course, the number 1 tip, keep it in the fairway, not in the woods. We're talking grass. The Director of Agronomy here at Kingsmill Resort, Michael Pierce, and you deal with the agronomic conditions at all 3 courses at Kingsmill. For folks who are traveling to this southern part of Virginia, he has a treat for you. Bent grass greens on all 3 courses. Kingsmill's right on the edge where they can still keep bent grass in a healthy situation, and a lot of the visitors from the north love that.
The benefit of it is tremendous. A much better putting surface in the shoulder seasons.
And you don't have to overseed.
Correct.
So that means no downtime on the golf course.
For the ability to give 12 months of consistent golf, it allows us to do that much better than with Bermuda grass.
And of course, that also means, especially in the fall, fast greens.
Absolutely. The weather in October is just unbelievable and allows us to provide for very firm and fast conditions, which is a treat.
But also in the spring, we know that you can get good conditions. You're not waiting for the Bermuda to pop, those kind of things that happen at the other courses. So this is a year-round resort.
Absolutely.
Even in the winter when you get some of the milder days.
We have a great putting surface 12 months a year. We don't have covers to deal with. We don't have to wait for it to warm up to let golf go.
Years ago, the PGA Tour came to the river course. Now the LPGA Tour. People are going to be expecting tournament championship conditions, not only on that course, but the others. Are you able to provide it?
Absolutely. Our golf courses are built for tournament golf.
The visitors who come in, though, love the challenge, but not maybe that ultimate challenge that the tour players face.
We condition with our resort guests definitely in mind. Wide fairways, short rough is very important to us. There's times that's challenging to provide, but that's the ultimate goal.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick parks it so. That's so you.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
Kinda got a sixth sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yep.
So you.
It is.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. Current eligible Buick owners use purchase allowance and loyalty cash to get up to 18% below MSRP on select 2021 Buick SUVs.
A massive property like Kingsmill Resort with 3 golf courses, all kinds of amenities, restaurants, that all needs coordination and leadership. Joel Page, COO of Kingsmill Resort. Joel, you've got a big job on your shoulders, but it's an important one. What is the philosophy of Kingsmill Resort that sets you apart?
It's one of the most historical parts of the country. It's a seasonal resort, which is great, right along the James River, which is fantastic. Most people don't realize how much water activity and activation we do. But at the end of the day, what we really pride ourselves on is our hospitality. The Southern hospitality is what really sticks out when we talk to our guests. And the history here, the Anheuser-Busch PGA Tour Days, and now we have the LPGA event. It also has a great DNA of golf, obviously, and that's what we're famous for.
Oh, I love that, the DNA of golf, and it is golf here. But you bring the people together with an entire experience once they come in these gates.
Another unique part of Kingsmill is our accommodations. We have condominiums, and they're spread out all over a 1,200-acre campus, actually. So it's nice to be able to come and not have to deal with elevators and parking lots and main lobbies, park at your own unit, be able to cook if you want to. You mentioned all the great restaurants we have. Some people like to do both. So it's a unique combination of all these different things. We have something for everybody, and that is what makes Kingsmill really special. If you want to paddleboard, to be able to get right out to the fresh outdoors, walking around the campus, hiking, and we have great programming. We have things for kids, we do kite flying, we do sandcastle building. So whether you're a family, want to come together, or just a buddy's golf trip, we can make it all work for everybody.
Luxury accommodations try to make the people feel that they don't have to leave the property, and you even do that with a spa experience.
We've got a great spa.
I think that people are going to find that, as you said, it's a seasonal resort, so that means it changes colors and changes atmosphere 4 times a year, and that's good too.
You know, it really has a lot of personality when it comes to the seasons, and some people really enjoy fall golf. Some people like to come in the summer when it's all bright and sunny days. even in the wintertime, we still play a lot of golf in January and February. So it really depends on where you're used to playing and what you're looking for. But that's, once again, with 3 courses, with 6 tees on every course, and everything else, the spa, indoor pool, it goes back to we have something for everybody, and that is what makes Kingsmill really special.
James Gelfand, Vice President of Sales and Revenue for Kingsmill Resort, the guy that got us here and can get you there too.
That's absolutely correct, and we're so grateful that you came and visited.
Well, it really has been way too long, 20 years since I was last at Kingsmill. So many things have changed, all for the better.
It's heaven on earth here in Virginia. You may have heard there's something for everyone, but I like to add there's something and space for everyone.
And there are plenty of spaces on this property. How many acres again?
Well, we sit on 1,200, but the resort actually is a couple of hundred acres. There's beautiful balconies and patios for them to enjoy, and there's so much available on site for them to do, whether it be golf, whether it be tennis, whether it be spa, lots of family programming, and we just have fun every single day.
Now, Kingsmill has been known mainly as a drive-to destination, although it's very accessible from the airports in the area, and there's a number of them.
Absolutely. Historically, we are serviced from 3 airports, all less than an hour away. Newport News is the closest at 21 miles. Richmond is about a 45, 48-mile drive. Norfolk is about 42 miles. Not a bad car ride at all, and the scenery is so beautiful along the way, right on the James River. A gorgeous destination.
Yeah. Although the traveling golfer arrived via ferry.
Oh, you came across the James River?
Yes, we did.
Right through Surrey. What a great little 17-minute ferry ride.
And it was a great way to get into the feeling of this Mid-Atlantic region resort that has been so well known for years. People who want to come to Kingsmill, easiest way to do that?
Book direct on the website, make a telephone call, talk to our reservation agents, find out what's going on, all of the activity both on property and in the destination. There's so much to do inside the gates, but there's so much more to do outside the gates. Williamsburg was voted the best small town of the South by the readers of Southern Living magazine. We're right next door to Busch Gardens. Colonial Williamsburg, Jamestown, Yorktown, and all of the great restaurants, shops, breweries, wineries. There's just a lot of things to do. And it's also a wonderful group destination. Doing group business, special events. It's an amazing destination for weddings. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. So truly something for everyone.
The 18th green marks the end of the trail at the famed river course. Sadly, it also marks the end of our visit to Kingsmill Resort. Once you come here, you never want to leave. We want to thank everybody who made our visit to Kingsmill Resort so special, and we want to invite you to come to this southeastern portion of Virginia on your next golf trip. We'll see you somewhere else down the golf trail.
Official sponsors of the Traveling Golfer include Bridgestone, providing distance, feel, and accuracy from tee to green. Tour Edge, equipment that gives you the leading edge both in price and performance. Swing Dish and Covell, fresh new apparel making you look great on and off the golf course.